HMD. Kuna X20 na X2. Tulia ni kuchanua kuzihusu. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Hizi ndo menje zoku jana feature deadly. Na utapata cash loan kwa ulipaga fiti. Data bundles, Buddha free for GB. Nike lost to see tense, we replace it, mami. Ay, alafu Johnny more than a phone. Hosi ukilazo bila stress, watasota umoja pa night. 30 days, Buddha boss, M-Kopa X-Series ni more than a phone. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Nikiwambia X-Series ni more than a phone, munatiwa dau. Don't joke bwana. Visit any M-Kopa shop or WhatsApp us on 0799 136 761 to get your X-Series today. X-Series, more than a phone.
So they become a dynasty. 3 or 4 years down the lane, they continue at the same rate. They'll be playing
Who knew what a little money and a lot of professionalism could do, right? Nyayo Stadium is alive and buzzing as we get set for the tip-off. Again on your screens, that is the matchup this evening, Nairobi City Thunder against Kenya Ports Authority. The players have lined up onto the floor. It's a few minutes before we get started. Let's take a small, brief break for the national anthem. Already, this arena is packed, Bosire. Now, these are the top 2 seeded teams in the Kenyan National Basketball Federation League. Again, Thunder, 40 games played between last season and this first leg. 40 games won. When is the last time you heard a stat line like that?
So I think, first of all, people know that these are the 2 teams that played the national finals last year. Unfortunately, Thunder swept KPA 3-0. So it's a good matchup, but I think it will still go the same way. The way Thunder is structured, I don't see them losing in a very long time unless they lose some of their key players who have signed up for bigger things like BAL and just as a nutshell, Thunder is a very offensive team. They have a very fluid offense. They have got very good shooters. They know how to put pressure and then run the ball up the floor, create opportunities for them to score jump shots and make layups. On the other hand, KPA is a very defensive team. So I wanted to see how that matchup is going to be, because it's a very good offensive team versus a very good defensive team. Unfortunately, on the other hand, KPA have not really shown very good offensive schemes. At the moment, I think they are averaging about 60 points a game, which is very low for a top tier team. On the contrary, on the other end, Thunder are averaging about 90 points a game. So you can see there's a very vast difference between the offensive ability of both teams. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, and I'm just going to see what the coach of KPA will do to stop the offense of Thunder.
This game will come down to tactics for KPA, and as I said earlier, KPA was a dynasty team. They would win the league championship back to back to back, but over the last couple of years we've seen them kind of taper off. I would say that they've lacked in star power. A lot of their superstars left the team. We can see a lot of new faces on this floor, Bosire. In fact, coming into this game, I was like, either I'm getting old or I've not come to watch a Kenyan basketball game for a while, but I don't recognize half of the KPA team. That's not to say that these are very established players, but again, I feel like KPA has lost a certain sense of star power, which has allowed them to struggle in terms of getting that final league championship. But still, kudos to them. Second in the league right now. Third in the rankings is Eldonets, but it's looking like a two-horse race so far.
Yeah, so you see, ideally in the Kenyan system, the team that is always top somehow attracts the best players in the country. So when it was Cooperative Bank of Kenya, dominating, they are the best players in the league. When KPA were dominating, they are the best players in the league. And even today, Nairobi City Thunder is dominating because they've got the best players in the league. So until KPA can be able to attract good players compared to Nairobi City Thunder, then it becomes very difficult for even other teams. You Lindsay have suffered the same fate. Equity have suffered the same fate. So I think it's a matter of just being able to get players. But KPA at this point in time are actually on a rebuilding mode. So for them to be second 2 years in a row actually is a very good pointer to the coaching that is happening there. So I think it's just a matter of ensuring that the new players are able to master whatever the coach is saying, and then be competitive. That's what counts.
Effort counts. Effort counts. And if you're tuning in to this live game on YouTube, show us some love. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you're rooting for. We're going to be in for a good game today. We're going to be in for a treat. The game is going to start in just a few minutes, so don't go too far. As I said earlier, my name is Silale Shani, and I'm joined by Bosire Bogonko, who's going to be my analyst this evening. And Bosire, it's been a while since you and I called a game together.
Yes, you've gone international and I'm still local, so our paths haven't crossed. But it's good to have you around again.
It is indeed, and I'm very excited to be calling this game with you. Let's take a look at the lineups right now. And for KPA, the starting five is going to be Jerry Wekesa, Tobias Odhiambo, Salim Kisilu, Bramwell Mushina, and Moral Spencer. And for Thunder, the starting five is going to be Derek Ogechi, Garang Ding, Eugene Adera, Tyler Ongwai, and Ariel Okal. Taking a look at this lineup, Bosire, would you say that Thunder has the tallest team in the league? You're looking at Garang Ding, standing at 6'8". He's a combo guard. He will probably have Tobias Odhiambo as a matchup. Yeah. It's just not fair, is it?
No, unfortunately it's not, but that's how the game is played. You have your players, you select your players, you contract your players, and if you attract the best players, then of course you don't have an advantage of the opponents. Yeah. So yes, they have got the biggest team, but KPA is not too far away in terms of size. They are almost evenly matched. Even as you can see there, the point guard of KPA trying to beat Tyler Ongwai. But yeah, generally I think for the viewers, they need to look out for Bramwell, number 15 of KPA, Salim, number 11, and Noel. Those are the main players of KPA. Then you've got Tyler Ngwae from Thunder, Ogechi from Thunder, Kenya Airways, Adera from Thunder, Wachira and Deng, who have been mentioned here before. So let's just see how the game is going to go.
Well, we are game live, and we can see KPA working the ball around. We got our first attempt off the mark. That was by Salim Kisilu, the top scorer for KPA. Thunderball, they'll bring it up. Ding at the wing gets it to the top of the key, and you can see Thunder are taking their time with the tempo. Nice drive to the basket. Can't get it to finish, and here comes KPA. Odhiambo at the wing. Odhiambo works his way to the hoop. He's got the runner, can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound. And that's a reset for KPA, who have a second opportunity to score.
And that's where the strength of KPA is actually because of grabbing rebounds. That's one of the strongest points. So Thunder really have to take KPA out of the game in terms of making them not control the boats.
Ogechi gets his first triple and gets Thunder up on the scoreboard. 3-0. KPA now taking their time, looking for options. It's a kick to Kisilu. Kisilu, he's got Ogechi on him. Tobias from downtown. Tobias hits the triple. And it's now 3 apiece.
Early times. I think both teams are trying to flex their muscles. Let's see who's gonna, slow down faster.
Oh, and Garang Ding tries to pick the pocket of Salim Kisilu. And you've talked about KPA's defense, Bosire, and how KPA has been known for the defensive prowess. Now, is that a trait that has always been there, or is it thanks to the head coach, Cliff O'War?
I think one of the biggest things about the Kenyan teams is always they approach things from a defensive point of view. So most Kenyan teams work more on their defense and on their offense. But I was speaking earlier on to the coach of Thunder, who I mentioned to that KPA is a very good defensive team, but he winked at me and told me, no, it's going to show why his team is better in terms of offense and dismantling the KPA defense. Even as you see there, KPA scoring an easy layup.
Spencer gets to Kisilu. Kisilu with a baseline drive, money ball. And again, he is the top scorer for KPA, averaged double digits in both points and in rebounds.
Yeah, he averaged about 12 points and 10 rebounds again. He's actually one of their mainstays, both on the offensive and the defensive end of the KPA.
Now we can see KPA with another scoring opportunity. Shot fake into the low post. And it's going to be Spencer. Look at the footwork. And KPA with another basket.
Yeah, KPA started quite well in this game offensively. We know them for being more of a transition team. But all their baskets in this first 5 minutes, they have scored off the half-court set. Especially going through Salim. Kisilu, who is one of the top scorers in the league.
Dead ball situation. And I have to say that Thunder have started this tempo very mellow. You know, we're used to seeing them coming off the blocks very hot, getting a nice comfortable lead in the first 2 minutes. But right now they're going head to head with KPA, and it's not a team that you want to go head to head with.
Yeah, I think that's low. The Thunder start is very slow. But on the other hand, I'm not surprised because their level of domination in the last 1.5 years just predicates that they will tend to be a bit tentative when they're playing most teams in Kenya. So we'll just see how the game goes. More often than not, a team starts slowly, but as the game progresses, they up their tempo. Well, on the other hand, another team can start very well, but as the game progresses, their tempo goes down. But I know KPA are very motivated for this game. This is the last game for the first leg for Thunder. So KPA wants to make a statement by ending Thunder's unbeaten run.
Absolutely, and just as we say that, Coach Ibbs calls a very necessary timeout to restructure, refocus, get the team ready for some adjustments, because KPA have come out of the blocks hot, and it is fun to see.
Yes. I think that's why timeouts were designed, Silale. Your team plays poorly, you have to call a timeout. That's the advantage of playing these American sports, basketball, American football, ice hockey. They have an opportunity to call, a stop to the game, and we give your game, your team different tactics, a change of attitude, motivate them a little bit. So let's see whether Thunder is going to come out a little more hot. They have been a bit slow, like I said before. Their game is predicated on transition. They have got a very good transition team. So they need to up their tempo a little bit and be able to, punch KPA in the stomach.
Very true, very true. And that is the score line up on your screens. KPA 14, Thunder 5 points. A very uncharacteristic lead for KPA against a team as strong as Thunder. But I'm sure adjustments will be made coming out of this timeout. And one of the first adjustments that we notice is Albert Odero is into the game. He has checked in, and I'm sure they'll be looking for that offensive prowess.
Exactly. I think they are looking to get the ball into the paint a little more, so that they will open up the three-point line. As you can see there, Odero attacking the lane and drawing a foul. So that's what they need to do. They cannot settle on taking the jump shot all the time. They need to be able to attack the paint, play an inside outside game. If the threes are not falling, get the ball to the paint by either hitting the post player or the guards attacking their man with the dribble.
Eugene Adera misses his first free throw. And just like you said, Bosire, Thunder do need to be a bit more aggressive with the probe and on the attack. That is really where their strength is, and it allows them to create space for the three-point shot. And this is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league right now, as Adera also misses his second free throw. Mushina, tough move. Up and over the defenders, and KPA now taking a commanding 11-point lead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Thunder need to step up their game a little more, even as we see Kenya Airways scoring an easy layup right there. But if they continue doing that, they'll have an opportunity to be able to be more effective, reduce that 16-7 lead, and just put KPA under pressure.
Spencer at the top of the key. Lines it up, unable to connect. Adera with the defensive board, and now he could go all the way. No, kicks it out for the shot. Odero. He's got blues all around him, kicks it out to Ogechi. Ogechi mid-range, and there's a whistle on the floor.
I think the offensive foul or something.
So the possession will go to KPA. Have another opportunity to extend this lead.
Yeah, I think KP are really motivated today. I can see even on the offense they're going on transition and getting the ball where they need to get it through. That's in their paint. So Thunder need to stop that entry pass in the paint that is allowing KPA to score easy baskets.
Kisilu, up and down violation. It's going to be white ball, and Thunder gets it right back, and another opportunity to score. Adera will bring the ball up. Kicks it out to Garang. Garang to Ogechi. Ogechi from downtown. Ogechi is such a threat from beyond the arc. You do not want to give him any space to hit that three-point, because he will punish you.
Yeah, and I think that was the whole idea. Get the ball moving, use the screens ETC, and then you get open shots like that.
Thunder slowly trying to chip away at this lead. It's now at 6 points. Almost got the steal. Kicks it out to, oh, look at the block from Eugene Adera, and the hustle play. He goes all the way, and that's what we need to see more of from Thunder. Exactly. Defense converting to offense.
Yes. That's what's important, and that's what most teams never understand. Even if you're a good offensive team, you need to be able to be a good defensive team, because good defense leads to good offense, especially when you get opportunities to go on transition like it does. It allows you to score easy baskets.
KPA now take their first timeout, and They started off this game hot and have seemed to have cooled off a little bit. What started out as an 11-point lead, they've managed to cut it down to 4 points with 8 minutes and 38 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a good game. I think off of that time of that Thunder went to, you can see they've already scored about 7 points, 7-2 and 7-2 run, from 14-7 now to 16-12.
And that's what the game of basketball is, right? A game of stops and runs. And exactly. KPA started this game with a solid run, but now Thunder, they've gotten warmed up, and I think we're going to be seeing some interesting basketball from here on out.
Exactly, and that's why even after the 7-2 run, KPA had to call its own timeout because something was going wrong on the offensive and defensive end. And like I said before, it's that is why basketball is a beautiful game. And, the coach can call a stop to the game and then be able to change tactics, to make change of strategy, and we see it replaying itself on the court.
KPA with the possession. Spencer, this is the top of the key, tries to get it in to Kisilu. Kisilu kicks it out to Odhiambo. Odhiambo on the drive. Rims out. KPA gets their own board, and it's going to be a Thunder ball. Great defense by Thunder, making sure that they didn't lean in on that block and didn't get the foul call.
Exactly, and I think the KP has not shown the ability to shoot the three-point, and therefore, in my opinion, the coach of Thunder needs to go into a 2-3 zone. His 2-3 zone is very good, it's very big and wide, and therefore it stops the other team from, KPA from attacking the paint. And since they have not shown that ability to shoot the three, then you'll have an opportunity to be able to reduce the gap.
So Ashira missed his first attempt in this game. And now Spencer in the low post loses a balance, gets tripped up, falls down. And we need to see a lot more of that from KPA, being more aggressive in the low post. And he's been rewarded. He earns a trip to the free throw line.
Exactly. When you get the ball in the post and you've got a good post player, you'll always draw fouls. And that's even you can see in the NBA, GSW, since they got Jimmy Butler, they are going almost 5 more times to the free throw line than they were doing before. It's because they get the ball in the low post. Jimmy Butler doesn't fear getting hit. He draws contact, and we have seen that very good example from Salim here. He got the ball in the post and he's done a very easy fouls for himself.
Spencer gets the first one to go. Just about 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this game. Nyayo Stadium is buzzing, already packed arena in here. If you're not down at Nyayo Stadium yet, you better get over here. The seats are filling up fast. And Spencer hits the second free throw. And Abusira, I know that always makes you happy when you see post players making their free throws.
Yes. Free throws are exactly that, free throws. There's nobody putting pressure on you, and therefore you should be able to score that basket. But as you can see, KPA is playing at 3-2 zone because they know that Thunder is a very good three-point shooting team. So they are guarding the three-point line as much as possible, putting pressure on them and forcing Thunder to try and drive the lane or dump the ball to the paint to score layups rather than shooting threes.
Nice mid-range shot from Albert Odero to keep Thunder in this game and within reach. And now there's going to be a foul on the floor, whistle called on Thunder. Possession is going to go to KPA.
Yes.
As we see some substitutions on the floor. That's right. That's Lennox Wanje. Wakesa gets the ball in, finds Spencer in the low post. Another fantastic play from Spencer. And he is active, as you see Washira in the corner. Washira, corner three, no good. We got the rebound, and here comes Wakesa. Wakesa blocked by Garan Ding. Ding coming down on the other end. And another block. My goodness. It's Block City in Nyayo Stadium.
The stadium is on fire. Everybody's blocking everybody. It's back-to-back blocks from both teams.
It's not safe. It's not safe in that low post.
Yes. It's a no-fly zone.
Great defense from both sides. as you see the fans getting into it. Now the kick out to Mushina. Mushina back up top to Spencer. You can see KPA really trying to spread out the floor. And now we got a deep three from Wekesa, no good. KPA grabs the O board, and here comes Wanje. Wanje kicks it out for Wekesa. Wekesa, money ball.
Finally, a three from KPA. Let's see whether they can be able to build up on that, because the Thunder defense is designed to stop them from getting the paint. Let's see whether they can open up the paint by shooting more threes.
Washira trying to slice through the defense. Gets tangled up, tries to draw the foul. And the foul indeed has been called on the floor, though, so it's not going to be shooting any free throws, but it will be Thunder possession.
Yeah, the Thunder needs to figure a way of how they can be able to beat that physicality of KPA. That is expected, especially when you drive the lane. They'll put a body on you, they'll bump you, they'll push you. So the Thunder have to figure out how to be able to overcome that physical play of KPA.
Dismas in the mid-range can't get that one to fall. The board is scooped up by Mushina, and here comes Wanji to bring the ball up. Luma on the wing. Spencer wants it in that mid-post. He wants to bang a little bit with James Mwangi, but no, kicks it back out, and there's going to be another whistle on the floor.
Yeah, that's an off the ball foul. I think James Mwangi came in and his instructions to put a stop to Salim's dominance in the low post, but he has become a bit too physical for that, so he draws a foul, and he's already having one on the line. But at the end of the day, I think even as we see KPA trying to run the ball, KPA's game plan is working. Their main game plan is to slow down the game, and they make Thunder play a half-court offense, and that has worked so far. So you can see they are having a 9-point lead, 23-14. It's because they have slowed down the game. They have allowed Thunder to go in transition.
Washira kicks it out to a boat for the three-point shot. Can't get that one to fall. And Thunder now playing some press defense, putting a bit more pressure on KPA. And there's almost forced a turnover.
Yeah, they put some full court pressure, and KPA were not ready for it, so they didn't have their players in the right position to be able to get the ball across the half court with ease.
Starting to wind down the first quarter of this game. KPA still up 9. Buluma tries to go all the way with it. Doesn't get that one to fall, but he had 4 white shirts on him and manages to draw the foul.
Correct. They put a lot of pressure on Thunder, and Thunder need to be very careful because they're going to be in foul trouble very early in the game. It might force the coach to go very deep into the bench, and in a bigger game like this one here, most coaches play a very tight rotation, 6, 7, 8 players at most. But if you get into foul trouble very early, then you're forced to go into the 12.
Buluma gets his first free throw to go. And he has a chance to make this an 11-point lead and close out the first quarter comfortably for KPA, which I'm sure would make Coach Cliff very happy. Basket good.
Thunder under a lot of pressure now because their game plan is not working.
Ding. Gets it to Dismas. Dismas fires. Dismas grazes the iron, and it's going to be KPA ball going the other way. Martin Buluma, seconds left on the clock, tries to get one before the final buzzer, but that will wrap up the first quarter. KPA 25, Thunder 14. KPA managed to get a nice, comfortable lead in the beginning of the first quarter and managed to maintain it despite Thunder cutting it down to 4 points. What are your takeaways so far, and what does Thunder need to do to improve?
I think KPA have done exactly what they planned to do, and their first plan was to control the boards. And the second plan was to slow down the transition offense of Thunder. and that they are able to do very comfortably, and that's why they've been able to score. Secondly, or thirdly, they know that their strength is in the paint. They need to get the ball into the paint and try and score layups, and that they have done very, very well. Thunder just need to play their game. Don't allow KPA to slow down the game for them. Don't allow them not to go transition. But most importantly, also they need to take care of their fouls, because KPA has gone on the line I think six times or so in this quarter, and that means that we are getting very easy chances to score points for them in the second possession. So it's going to be an interesting game. Let's see how Thunder makes adjustments in the second quarter.
Just about ready to get back into the action. We've seen an interesting first quarter that has seen KPA take a commanding lead, and Thunder, necessary adjustments must be made. But you know what, Basira, it is tough to be Nairobi City Thunder. It's tough to be at the top. Not only is it tough to be at the top, it's tough to maintain that position. Every single team that faces Nairobi City Thunder comes hard.
Exactly.
And is extremely physical. And as far as physical teams go, I would say KPA is right up there with the likes of Ulinzi.
They are the two main physical teams in Kenya ever. I think a lot of their game has been focused on the physicality, but Thunder is playing the BAL, and the BAL is equally physical. Therefore, it's a good test for them. They need to be able to adapt to that kind of game as they prepare to go to Rwanda later on this year.
That's very true. The first leg of the BAL, the first conference rather, begins in Morocco in just about a week and a half. So the clock is ticking for Thunder's first inaugural appearance in the Basketball Africa League, as Tyler Ongwae from downtown makes it count.
They need to get Tyler rolling, because Tyler is their mainstay. I think the last game they played against Umoja, and it was a very physical game. Umoja came very physical, and without Tyler taking over the ball game, they'd have easily lost that game. So it's time that they really figure that out and get Tyler the ball into his hands.
It's a great attempt from Buluma, nice runner. Should get them 2 points. And here comes Adera, kicks it out to Ogechi. Ball is swung to Ongwae. And they're working the ball around the arc. Get their own rebound. Tyler, second attempt. This time comes up short. And Bosira, you had said earlier that Thunder needs to do a better job of attacking the rim. And do you think they're improving in that right now, or are they still kind of relying on their three-point shots?
They're stuck in the middle there, because, like I said, these guys are playing a 3-2 zone, which is designed to put pressure on the guards, on the three-point line. But they just need to continue. You have to be relentless. This game is about attrition. It's not a matter of you try once and it fails and you give up. It's about attrition. You have to keep attacking, drawing fouls, and then something will give somewhere along the way.
Well, that possession was not the one that gave for Thunder, as Wanje now at the top of the key. Baluna back up to Spencer. Lennox, slight hesitation, kicks it up with the three-point shot. Opio can't connect. And Ogechi will bring the ball up on transition for Thunder. Swing the ball around, Tyler Ongwae. Thunder doing a good job of getting the offensive boards and managed to keep this possession alive. Another opportunity to shoot. And speaking of shots, a three-point shot drained by Ken Washira, I believe.
Yes. And that's what they need to do. Keep it in pressure. Just play your game. Don't give up. At the end of the day, you'll be able to get easy scores like that. I can see there they move the ball around, they shot the ball, but they're still able to secure an offensive rebound. It's because they are displaced the defense. So when you hit the ball properly, people are cutting, people are attacking with a dribble, the defense has to collapse or break up at some point. So that's a very good sequence by Thunder there to reduce the score to 27-23.
Thunder slowly and steadily chipping away at this lead, but it's going to be KPA ball coming into this possession. Buluma gets it out to Wanje. Wanje feels it. unsuccessful. And here comes Ogechi. He's got Tyler running the floor so well, and he wasn't able to convert that pass. But Thunder do a fantastic job on transition. We've not seen it on display tonight as much as we usually do, but they do such a great job of getting the ball out on transition and converting to the other side.
Yes, and that is just unfortunate because of a bad pass. It was intercepted, but it was a good thought because the person, Taylor, was ahead and was calling for the ball, and he just need to give the right pass. But if they can continue doing that, playing some good solid defense, grabbing rebounds like they have done in the last 3 possessions, then going out on transition, then they have a chance of reducing that gap on the scoreline.
Adera almost losing the ball, and it's going to have another whistle on the floor. It's going to be a foul called on Lennox Wanje.
That's what we call offensive pressure. You have to put the defensive player on his heels, and you try to make him reach for the ball. And more often than not, you get a foul called for you.
Adera with the runner. Nguai trying to tip it back in. Basket no good. And KPA now with a 7-point lead with just over 11 and a half to go in this game. Kisilu from downtown. Oh my goodness. Rims out. And it's going to be a defensive board from James Mwangi. Throws it right into the hands of KPA defense. And now KPA come on the other side. They've got numbers. They try to draw. That's a very good defensive play. And a great heads-up play from James Mwangi. Listen, it's always terrifying trying to take a charge, Bosiri.
No, it is, but you have to be able to take it. But there's a trick to it, yeah? The charge is not necessarily that the other player hits you. They need to just look like they have hit you. So you have to be an expert at drawing charges, yeah? Because of course, if you see an elephant coming your way.
So what you're saying is Afro Cinema must come into play?
Then somehow.
Yeah. You've got to sell it.
You have to sell it.
Well, we've got another timeout on the floor. KPA 7-point lead against Nairobi City Thunder. Myself, Saleh Shani, and Bosiri Bogonko are in your ears for this particular matchup. Back into the action. Adera has got Lennox on him. Lennox very good with that sticky defense. Great job of putting pressure on Adera. Now kick out for the corner 3. Ogechi off the mark. And Ogechi, I would say Ogechi is one of the best 3-point shooters in this country right now. Very uncharacteristic of him to miss a wide open 3.
Yes, that happens. Even the best shooters score about 45% of the 3-point shots, so it's expected that you're going to miss, but you have to attempt. If you have to score, you must attempt. But you see, Ogechi is a balanced player. He's more of he can both play inside and outside. He goes for his layups, he goes for his rebounds, but he's also a very good shooter. So that's the kind of player you need to have versatility, in your game, not a one-dimensional player.
Adera to bring the ball up. Again, he's got Lennox on him. Handoff to Ongwae. Ongwae step back. Comes up short. And the boards are brought down by Kisilu.
I think the game has hit a lull where both teams are actually going on offense but not able to convert. They're both playing very, very defensively. They're getting grabbing rebounds and steals, but they're not converting those defensive possessions into good offense. Even as you see there, Deng trying to drive the lane and getting a foul. So like I said before, you just have to keep trying to attack the paint all the time. Something will give at some point. You'll either draw a foul, you score a basket, or you get both. Even if you draw, if you charge somebody, it doesn't really matter. At least you have shown intent of putting pressure on offensively the other team.
And we look at another whistle on the floor there. Lennox giving Eugene Adera a very tough time. And these two have history. Adera used to play for KPA at some point.
Yes.
So, you know, the bad thing about playing against a teammate is that they know exactly how you play. And they know what your weaknesses are. And Lennox is really capitalizing on that.
Yeah, but that's why you need to be always a step ahead. That's why people work extra every other day, because people, even the other opponents, if you don't play with them, they still study you. They see your film, they come and watch your games, they know your tendencies. So you need to be able to adapt all the time and be able to have that extra push to be able to overcome any kind of defenses that are thrown at you.
Wanje, nice spin move. Unable to close it out. But here came Martin Baluma trying to get the putback, but that was a great play by Lennox Wanje. The fearless player of KPA has so much heart.
Exactly. And like I said before, you know, for you to be able to attempt free throws, you must draw fouls. And the easiest way to draw fouls is by attacking the paint. It's very difficult to draw fouls outside the paint, shooting threes or in the middle of the court. But when you attack the paint, for sure, if you break on your man and you attack, somebody else has to come and help. If they are too slow, you'll draw a foul.
Wanje unable to convert the second free throw. Rolls off the hands of Buluma, so it is going to be Thunder possession. Laksa, as he's fondly known, is going to be inbounding for Thunder. And you can see KPA increasing that defensive pressure. They're not going to give Thunder an easy time bringing the ball up.
Yeah, they know if you allow Thunder to just walk up the ball and set up the offense, then you're going to lose. So you have to put defensive pressure on the point guard, make him a bit disturbed by your defensive action, and let their offense break down.
Thunder unable to convert in that possession. Here comes Lennox. Lennox shaking off defenders left, right, and center. Gets the ball back up at the top of the key. Buluma at the wing. He's got the screen. Gets it to a wide open Trevor Opio. Opio misses everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, KPA is not a very good three-point shooting team. So for them to take so many threes, however much you want to score, but you have to attempt to score. For them, they need to attack the paint more. Get the ball to the paint. You know, Salim had a very good first quarter, drawing 3 fouls in the paint. So they need to keep doing that over and over again.
Some dazzling footwork on display by Albert Odero, and he gets the and one opportunity. A chance to make this a 3-point play. Great read of his defender, and he will shoot 1 free throw.
Yeah. Albert Odero is a very good mid-range player. He likes scoring layups and hitting mid-range jump shots. So their offense needs to be designed to be able to get into those spots, to be able to be more effective than attempting to shoot threes.
Odero converts, and now it's a 3-point game with about 8.5 to go in the second quarter. Spencer, he's got Okal on him. Okal, one of the better defenders in this league. Got a substitution on the floor. Checking back into the game for KPA is number 7, Jerry Wekesa. As Spencer earns a trip to the free throw line, knocks down his first free throw.
Thunder have really done a good job to reduce that deficit. Now it's standing at 29-25. And if they can continue putting pressure, then they should be able to convert and reduce that deficit completely. Like I said before, it's important that KPA can keep up their tempo because you can start the game well, but as the game goes by, you taper off. While another team can start the game slow, but as the game goes on, they rise up to the occasion. So it's a risk for KPA. Thunder can reduce the gap even further.
Great defense from Trevor Opio. Opio tries to go all the way, can't connect, but great defensive effort from Trevor Opio. Is now Ongwai on the wing, gets it to Garang. Garang, kick out to Okal. Okal, back out to Abot. Abot blocked on the drive. My goodness.
It's a no-fly zone. It's a no-fly zone. Ladies and gentlemen, no-fly zone. You shoot your threes. No layups here today.
Spencer in the low box. Spencer, big boy move. And KPA now at 31 points. KPA being an absolute menace in that low post. And Thunder will have to make some defensive adjustments to stop the hemorrhaging. As we see a botch with a nice putback.
Yeah.
Great hustle.
You have to get the offensive boards. Those are very good because it gives you a second chance to attempt and score. So, KPA is a very good rebounding team, and they need to, make these people not pick up so many rebounds.
Wanje misses everything. Not a great decision from him.
No, I don't understand why he took that shot. It's not necessary. The clock wasn't running down. There was no pressure on him, so he should have driven the lane or created something for his teammates.
And it's going to be Thunder ball. Garang Ding to get things started for the team in white. Ortega checked into the game for Thunder as well. Ding felt good about it. Unable to connect. Ongwai doing a great job to hustle for the rebound. Chases it down, but I think his foot was on the line.
Yeah, that's a good hustle, but the ball was really out by the time there.
Wanje, look at that height difference, Posire, between Wanje and Garang Ding.
You have to put pressure. And that's the thing now. Garang is 6'8".
Lennox is probably 5'10"
5'10".
on a good day.
On a good day, on heels. And, so when you get such a guy putting pressure on you, it slows down your offense. You can't be able to see the offensive side of the game. You can't see your players. You can't set up your offense. So, and also important, that's why I've got big point guards like Magic Johnson, LeBron James, because they can be able to see over the pressure defense.
Well, Lennox Wanje will go out, have a breather. Checking into the game for KPA is Tobias Obiambo. Ortega gets it to James Mwangi. Mwangi hands off to Tyler Ongwae. Ongwae lines it up, unable to knock it down. And here comes Jerry Wekesa. Odhiambo kicks it out for a nice mid-range finish from Bramwell Mushina. And that was a great read of how the defense was playing, drawing the defense to him. And then
it's very important to be able to break down your man on the dribble and attack the paint, because it forces the other defensive players to help. And when they help, then somebody else is wide open and you get the ball to them to score easily, like we've just seen KPA doing through Bramwell.
And KPA able to force a turnover. Ball was not able to meet its intended destination. It's going to be KPA ball, as KPA continue to lead and have led for the better part of this game so far. Odhiambo not able to connect. Mushina fighting for that rebound, but it's going to be Thunder ball.
Thunder are really struggling on the half-court offense. I don't think they're really getting anything going, whether it is jump shots, whether it is layups. I think they are trying to be too methodical. You need to be able to play like a read and react situation. So this is how the sequence is supposed to go, but the defense is adjusting to that sequence. So what's the next step to do? You attack exactly what they're giving you. You can be able to attack what they're giving you, then you put pressure on them to adjust their defense again, and you get easy scores for that.
And Coach Ibbs definitely made that read and called a very necessary timeout. The rhythm is off. Thunder are known for their ball movement, they're known for their rhythm, they're known for their chemistry. It's something that Coach Brad has spoken about, talking about his pride in the fact that they can shoot well, but also the fact that they have great chemistry on the floor. And we've not seen that on display tonight so far.
Yes, because the KPA is playing very good defense. They are stepping into their faces. They are distorting the passes and etc. Therefore, that's the question I asked him. KPA is known to be a very good defensive team. How are you going to counter that? Because they'll be physical on you. They'll put a face on you. They'll put pressure on you. So if you're not able to, calmly be able to execute your offense without panicking, then you get out of the rhythm. So I think it's just a matter of time. Thunder needs to settle down. They need to, refocus that this is not KU or UON or another team that they're playing. This is the team that was second, in the league last year, and they're still second with the log this year. So it means they've got something to offer. Yeah. So it's just a matter of adjustments.
A matter of adjustments as we take a look at some of the fans in this packed out arena here at Nyayo Indoor Stadium.
I think you saw there Senator Mtata, the defender of the Kenyan people. The senator is there in the crowd. I think he's enjoying a game of basketball. Maybe he was invited by the KBF office to come and see some of the action that is going down today at Nyayo Stadium.
Well, we love seeing all kinds of fans in the stands, whether from government or in the industry, and that's going to be a travel call on Tobias Odhiambo.
Yeah, he picked up the ball before he knew what he was supposed to be doing.
Here comes Ortega. Ding kicks it out to the left wing, back up top. Ogechi now with the ball, tries to float one in, and my goodness,
It's a no-fly zone.
goodness. Bosiri keeps on saying it's a no-fly zone. If you're going to get up there, you better know what you're going to do with the ball. Albert Odero delivered.
You better be dunking the ball, otherwise your plane is going to be brought down. Those are 4 blocks that we have seen from KPA. It means that they are really playing good defense. They are putting a lot of pressure on Thunder's offense. So yeah, their game plan is actually coming out the way they planned it to be. Slow down the game, put pressure on Thunder, and let's see whether they can be able to overcome that pressure, that physicality.
A great defensive effort from KPA, and please ignore the 3 minutes 40 seconds on your screen. That is the end of the second quarter, and the end of the first half. KPA astounding us all, taking a commanding lead at the beginning of the first and managing to maintain it this second quarter. Listen, it's not easy to maintain your number 1 position.
Hizi mkani zinakaa fiti hivo. Buda. Hizi ni M-Kopa X series designed by HMD. Kuna X20 na X2. Tulia ni kuchanua kuzihusu. X series bala. M-Kopa X series bala. X series bala. X series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. X series bala. M-Kopa X series bala. X series bala. X series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Hizi ndo menje zokuja na feature deadly na utapata cash loan kwa ulipaga fiti. Data bundles buda free for GB na iki lost to see tense we replace it mami. Hey, alafu Johnny more than a phone. Hosi ukilazo bila stress watasota umoja pa night 30 days buda boss. M-Kopa X series ni more than a phone. X series bala. M-Kopa X series bala. X series bala. X series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Nikiambia X series ni more than a phone munatiwa dau. Don't joke bwana. Visit any M-Kopa shop or WhatsApp us on 0799 136 761 to get your X series today. X series, more than a phone.
And here we go into the third quarter of what has been a very exciting matchup between KPA and Thunder. Odhiambo kicks it to Spencer. Spencer's got Okala on him, decides to take it into him. Nice soft touch, but unable to connect. It's going to be a defensive board from Garang Ding. Okal gets it out to Garang. Garang kicks it out for the three-point shot. Garang Ding with the triple.
Yeah, that's what they need to do, get the ball in the paint, string it out, have people cutting through the lanes so that you can keep the defense busy. Yeah, so let's see how this third quarter is gonna, pan out.
Kisilu kicks it out to Odhiambo. Odhiambo on the screen, unable to get that interior pass. Kicks it out to Kisilu. Step back three. Unable to connect. Ogechi decides to go all the way. And was that the right play there from Ogechi, Bosiri?
No, he shouldn't. He should have passed the ball. He should have either dumped the ball to the low block or kicked out the three-point line where Taylor was very wide open. But anyway, yeah, I think he was believing in himself. He has got the layup against different story, so people have to make decisions in the game of life.
So what you're saying is of importance is belief.
Yes, you have to believe in yourself and convert.
Uluma is fouled while attacking the basket. And it's going to be 2 free throws for him.
I think both teams are actually. I think both teams are going to the same game plan: attack the paint, get the ball out, try and score layups, try and draw fouls. So it's going to be an attrition kind of game because it's getting more physical. I think it's going to get very ugly down the lane. Yeah, so let's see how both teams adjust to that physicality. Maybe you can even find the referees ignoring some of these things and letting the game just flow in its physicality. But at the moment, KP are still having a upper hand, and they're looking good.
Well, whenever the points differential becomes smaller and smaller, the game starts to get a little bit more intense. Right now, 4-point lead for KPA. Thunder having to contend with bully ball, and KPA are giving it all to them.
Yeah, I think they need to prepare for that because most teams in BAL also are very physical. I think you have seen many of the international players who come to play in BAL really complain about the physical play in Africa. So Thunder have no choice but to adjust to that physicality.
Baptism by fire. Wakesa has got Ogechi on him, tries to shake him off, gets out, gets the ball into the low post. Spencer creates space. He's blocked by Ariel Akal, but there is a whistle on the floor. It's going to be a foul. And listen, it is tall trees in that low post.
Exactly, and Thunder should not allow Salim to post up in there. Every time he has posted up and touched the ball, something good has happened for KPA. And something good has happened for KPA. So they need to ensure that they front him. Whoever is guarding him has to front him and force the ball the opposite direction of the offense.
Well, Spencer, who has been a good free throw shooter so far in this game, misses his first attempt. He's still got one more. Spencer rolls the second one in. It's going to be 35 points for KPA. Ogechi trying to control the momentum on the floor. He's got Odhiambo on him. He recognizes the mismatch rather. Kicks it out to Adera.
And that's why it's important to have patience on your offense. There, when he dribbled the ball, it looked like he was being selfish, but he was reading what was happening on the defensive end. And really has got a mismatch, the person who's guarding him. So he just got to his body and bumped him into the paint, and as you can see, he has drawn a foul.
But I've got to say something for KPA's guards. They don't care about a mismatch. They will give it to you. They are very aggressive. Have a lot of international experience, as we see another personal foul called on Tobias Odhiambo. Good display of sportsmanship, though.
That's his second foul in the last 30 seconds. So he's a very important player in the team. he can't allow himself to get in foul trouble and get put on the bench, because that's what's going to happen. With these two, it means Ogechi is going to get the ball and attack him more and more and more and more as the game goes by, and therefore he's going to draw more and more fouls, and it means he's going to get it back to the bench as very early in the game. So it's just a matter of time that you see Tobias being subbed and sitting on the bench and not having an effect in the game.
And that's a situation that KPA does not want to get themselves into. Tobias really is the floor general.
Correct.
For Kenya Ports Authority. Ogechi, he's got Odhiambo on him again. And there you go. There you go. He may look small. That's a big man right there, Busire.
He had to prove that the other two fouls were not fouls by stealing the ball this time. But I think he was just lucky. He was able to get faster around the ball, around Ogechi and steal the ball. So that's a good defensive sequence there.
Very good defensive stop. Yeah. Very good defensive stop. Spencer looking at options, gets it to Baluma. Oh, Mushina was wide open in that low post, but he didn't see him. And now Spencer fighting for the rebound.
It's a slugfest. And that's exactly what KPA wanted, a slugfest, where they slow down the game and then they make it a physical game. Put up the ball, go and fight for rebounds, put people on faces, and it's panning out very well for them because they're still ahead. Thunder have still not got into their game. They're not adjusting to the physicality of KPA, and that is a problem for me because you have to be able to play against different styles of play against opponents that throw at you. So let's see whether they can wake up and do something about it.
And that's just the thing, Basir. When you're getting pushed, when you're getting bumped, it's very hard to keep your head and remember what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And KP are very aware of that. That's testament also to Coach Cliff and Coach Sam Kiki's mentality with KPA and
Correct.
ethos with KPA. They've done this time immemorial.
Yes.
20 years ago, it was the same thing.
It's the same thing. So a lot of these teams like KPA, Ulinzi, and a former team called KCB had designed their style of play on the Pistons of the late 90s, who are very physical, who used to bump people and beat up people and still play very good offensively and win games. So they have not changed that style of play ever since.
Mushina misses everything. I don't know why he decided to attempt that three-point shot, but it's going to be a Thunder ball.
Because it's fire in the paint. As you can see, the fans now are not cheering baskets, they're cheering physical play. Somebody being thrown down, being pushed, being hugged. So it has become a WWE matchup.
Spencer gets the steal. Here he comes down the lane, tries to go all the way with it. And a charge has been called. James Wangi placed himself in the right place.
I don't think that was an offensive foul. He had not established a defensive position. So, as a matter of fact, Spencer went into his shoulder. So, the shoulder, when you hit the shoulder, it's a defensive foul. Because you're supposed to be able to sit squarely and have your chest towards the offensive player that's coming to hit you. But anyway, it's a referee's call, so they're the ones who have seen it.
We respect what the referee calls. Mwangi kicks it out for the corner, 2-3. Adera kicks it out to Garang. Garang back to Adera. Adera fouled on the way up. Great ball movement from Thunder, and that's more of a Thunder play. That's exactly what we're used to seeing.
Penetrate kick. You get open shots. You get people free under the rim. When you get the ball under the rim, you need to be composed. Use the pump fake. That art of using the pump fake, you always leaves the defender if you're under the rim. So then you draw contact and you draw the foul. So if he scores his 2 free throws, then they have achieved what they wanted because they have got somebody into foul trouble while still be able to score the basket.
That right there is Thunder's go-to action, driving, kicking, finding the open man. And if they can just do that a little bit more often, they can cut down this lead and take the lead.
Exactly. Like I said, it's going to be a game of attrition because KP have done exactly what they wanted to slow down the game. So they cannot be able to score as frequently as they want if they don't go on transition. That is standard for that matter. So the game is panning out exactly how I expected it to pan out.
It's a 3-point game. I've always found the third quarter to be a very critical quarter in terms of the momentum of how a game can go. And right now, I would say the momentum is definitely in Thunder's favor. Zision Gwai almost stealing the ball. Mushina.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There are two very critical quarters in a basketball game: third quarter and fourth quarter. Fourth quarter in close games, third quarter in a game that you need to recover and score.
Monte Kimber says Timber. Triple down. And look at Albert Odera slicing through the defense. My goodness, $100 move, 1 cent finish. I think he was surprised he found himself that open.
Right
at
open,
the,
yes.
at the rim.
Oh my goodness!
And look at the
a 5-0 run, 5-0 run to make it an 8-point game. Thunder are looking flustered, they're looking lost, they're looking confused. Even the coaches are mad because they're not executing as supposed to execute. So when you blow up layup like that, that's what happens. That's a 5-point turnaround. You have scored a layup, you have made a stop, but then you miss the layup, that's 2 points missed, and they're going and scored a 3-point shot. That's a 5-point turnaround. So it's getting crazy out here.
Back-to-back baskets from KPA have forced Thunder to call a timeout. Adjustments have to be made, but right now, if you ask me, Bosire, KPA just look like they wanted more.
They wanted more, and Thunder is looking, like I said, they're looking flustered, they're looking uninterested or disinterested. So it's an attitude thing actually. There are so many X's and O's that a coach can draw on a timeout. It's a matter of the players going out there and applying themselves. What we're seeing from the KPA end is application. The team is driving itself. It's doing what it needs to do to stop Thunder and be able to score for themselves. But Thunder, on the other hand, are a bit casual in my observation.
Nyayo Indoor Arena is buzzing with excitement right now as Thunder are staring down almost a double-digit deficit.
I think the fans are sensing that there's an upset going to happen. They are sensing that the unbeaten run is coming to an end, and that's why there's a lot of excitement. The anticipation of such a big occasion is making the crowd very, very excited.
They're at the wing having to contend with some very, very intense defensive pressure. Look at the crossover, kicks it out to Tyler Angwaye. Angwaye unable to convert. Adera, very big offensive rebound, tries to get the putback, unable to finish.
Yes, exactly. That's what you need to do. You need to be able to drive and kick. When you attempt, you need to be able to go for the offensive board. If you miss, then you get a chance to be able to get an opportunity to attempt. That's what the Thunder have not been doing in the main game generally. But if you look at KPS offense, that's exactly what they're doing. They're driving, they're shooting, but they are following their rebounds. And they're getting second chance opportunities by grabbing the offensive rebound. And that's the difference that has created this 8 or 9 point difference that KPA is enjoying at the moment.
Thunder doing a great job of cleaning up the boards, as Bosire has just said. Adera rims out the first attempt. And under pressure to make the second, unable to connect. And just as we talk about the rebounding situation, again, KPA do a better job of boxing out their defenders on that.
Yes, I think the KPA must have watched Umoja game against Thunder a couple of last week. And Umoja employed a very physical game on Thunder, and they were able to slow them down and have a very reasonable score. That's what you're seeing now today. The only difference between Umoja and the KPA is that Umoja's offense was not working, but KPA's offense is working. They are attacking the paint, they are scoring layups like that, and going fouls.
The gym is going crazy. Great move from Tobias Adambo, but
it's no basket. The referee has called something else. He has cancelled that basket.
No basket. The travel call came before the basket.
It's a no-fly zone. This is a Gaza Strip. If you break your plane there, it's going to be brought down.
Attempts are being deleted left, right, and center in that low post. And KPA taking full advantage of their length and size. Giving Thunder a very, very difficult time getting to the cup.
Yes, and I think, KPA's plan is very clear. Run them off the three-point line, but when they go for the layup, go after them and try and block the shot, distort the shot, do something. Even if you know the foul, it doesn't really matter. They have not scored the basket. It has worked so far for them.
Odero hits the first free throw. Odero gets the second free throw to go. And we have a substitution on the floor. Lennox Wanji checks into the game as Tobias Odhiambo takes a very well-deserved rest. Wanji, long pass to Kimber. Okesa almost losing the ball. He's got a double on him. Ongwae trying to hustle for it. Lennox struggling to keep it alive. KPA now with numbers on their side. Oh no! Buluma throws it right into the hands of Thunder. Tyler Ongwae can't get the finger roll finish. And my goodness, the energy in this gymnasium, Bosire.
The K player was hanging on his coattails. Was sure he was not going to score that basket. He should have slowed down a little bit. As you can see, Thunder are trying to deploy a 2-to-1 full court press. That is try and slow down KPA and get them out of their, waste their time crossing the timeline. But it's all working because the KPA are still able to pass the ball and cross the timeline. So even as we see, the coach of KPA has called a timeout for his team.
Timeout has been called on the floor. Again, Thunder unable to stop the bleeding. 34-41. KPA continuing to maintain this lead, Bosire, and they are playing the basketball of their lives. But
yes,
really, this game comes down to how does Thunder rise above the physicality?
Exactly.
How do they adjust their offensive strategies to counter what KPA are throwing at them?
Exactly. So the biggest problem I'm seeing is that the Thunder players, apart from Adera, who has drawn a couple of fouls, Adera was drawn a couple of fouls, they don't want to be touched. They don't play physical. The physicality is both offensively and defensively. If you play, if somebody plays you physically on offense, on defense, you have to be able to also play physically on offense. That's the only way you can be able to counter that. Otherwise, you go on transition. And as you can see, the transition has been slowed down effectively by KPA. So they really need to be able to use their physicality. Also, they're also big. They're strong. They need to be able to use their physicality to be able to get the paint and score the layup.
As you mentioned earlier, Thunder are preparing for the Basketball Africa League, where they're going to face taller, stronger, faster players. And really, at that point, it comes down to tactics. How do you adjust to what your opponent is throwing at you?
Exactly.
So I think this is a great test for them, as they wrap up the first leg of the season. It's a great test at this point in time for Thunder to see how they can respond to a very physical team.
Correct.
Here comes Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways! He's blocked on the way to the rim. No block! It's a travel call.
You call a travel. It is a travel. Because he had already taken 2 steps, then he realized he's going to be blocked. Then he took an extra step. Then he still went up and got blocked. So it was a travel. He picked up the ball too early. He should have gotten the ball to Taylor, who was a step ahead of him.
See, Basir, this is why I could never be a ref. Kudos to Jazz and the rest of the officiating crew on the floor, calling an intense game like this and making the right calls.
Yeah, but the refs we have got on the floor at the moment are very mature refs who are very experienced internationally, so their calls are pretty good.
Okesa off the mark, Mushina on the fadeaway! My goodness!
That's what we call shooting with panache from Bramwell.
Bramwell Mushina giving us a little bit of Kevin Durant. That nice little one-legged fadeaway. And now Ongwae slicing the defense. Look at the block from Terry Wakesa.
Get out of here. It's getting nasty in here. Are we seeing the unbeaten run coming to an end? Thunder are flustered. They're flustered, completely flummoxed by what KP has thrown at them.
Thunder are looking like a different team on that floor, Bosire.
Those are 6 blocks. 6 blocks. It's a no-fly zone. The Gaza Strip.
Lennox out to Buluma. Buluma trying to shake and bake a little bit, not successful. Lennox shuffled a little bit before he took that first step, and these are the unforced turnovers that KPA have to cut down on.
Exactly, but as long as they can be able to draw a stop on this other end, that's what counts. You can lose the ball outside, you miss the shot, it doesn't matter. For as long as you can be able to stop the other team from executing the offense, you're good to go because you have a lead. Even if you go scoreless both teams for the next 10 minutes, you will still be ahead by 10 points. So really, it's a matter of how you execute your defensive end.
Ongwae kicks it out to James Mwangi for the triple. Can't connect.
You know, the thing that most people don't understand is that when a team plays physically on you, you also get very exhausted. So even your normal jump shot becomes, subdued. You can't be able to shoot your normal shot. You can't make your layup. You can see how many layups that Thunder have actually missed in this particular sequence.
Lennox grabs the offensive board. Attempts to Lennox Wanje hits from deep.
This is getting ugly. This is getting ugly. Oh my God. Are we seeing the unbeaten run coming to an end? Who can put on bet the unbeaten run is coming to an end just now? What are they?
Another foul on the floor from Lennox. But wow, outstanding basketball on display here by KPA. Doesn't matter the short, the tall, the big, the skinny, everyone is putting in the work. You can see the desire. They're smelling blood in the water. And Thunder in a very uncomfortable situation right now.
Yeah, I think Thunder came to this game assuming that it's going to be another easy walk in the park like before. I think they have been taught a humble lesson so far. But I think they just need to get themselves mentally into the game. They're not mentally into the game. They are a bit flustered. They're looking scared. They're looking selfish. They have been forced to play like a kind of isolation one-on-one kind of play instead of playing their normal pass the ball, create shots, create plays for your teammates. But you still have 1.5 quarters or so to go.
Pio throws the ball right into the hands of James Mwangi. Tyler, he has the baseline drive, kicks it out to the corner to Ken Washira. Washira back to Mwangi. Mwangi blocked by Mushina. This is Bravo Mushina's house. You better come correct.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There is no scoring laps in there. If you can't dunk the ball, you shoot the ball.
Mushina deleting attempts left, right, and center.
Oh my God. Those are 7 blocks so far in this game from KPA.
Ken Washir managing to pick the pocket of Lennox. And now it's a kick out to Ongwae, who buries the 3-point shot, giving Thunder a lease in life.
Wow, what a game.
And this is what the fans came to see, Bosire. This is what the fans came to see.
Exactly. It is worth all the money they paid at the entrance to see this game.
Odero makes it look so easy. They have to call a timeout.
Stop the run. 5-0 run. That's a good timeout by the KPA coach. But that's exactly what Thunder needs to do. They need to stop hanging their heads down and step up the play. It's that simple. Play some good defense, steal the ball, run the floor, score your layups, score your jump shots. Make it becomes a competitive game. Otherwise, they have played very lackadaisically for the last 2.5 quarters. That's why they're down.
It is very key for Thunder to identify what is working for them and stick to it. And what is working for them right now is attacking the rim.
That's it.
But I say that with a caveat, because as they attack the rim, they meet the long arm of the law in Bramwell Mushina, who has been destroying attempts.
But it's because they're not looking for the extra play. The moment you attack the rim and you see the big man coming to block you, there are other people who are open. There's somebody who's open somewhere else. You need to be able to identify that person before, so that help comes. You can drop the ball to the person who is open and you score easy layups. But if you insist, then you must go for the dunk, so that you can embarrass the defensive player. Otherwise, you're going to get blocked. Basketball
is tough. T for tough. Basketball is a tough game.
When I used to coach 50 years ago, I used to tell my players, there is let nobody cheat you. Basketball is an easy game. It is not an easy game. It's not a fun game. It's only fun when you're winning easily. Otherwise, it's a hustle. Yeah, it's a grind. You have to grind, leading so many times. I can see this game, like I said earlier, Thunder have been winning these games on average by 30-40 points. But today it's a grind. They're still down. It doesn't matter how much they're doing. They're still down.
Exciting sights, scenes, and sounds here in Nyayo Indoor Arena. We also see you all in the comments. Thank you for joining us on this live broadcast. of KPA versus Nairobi City Thunder. The number 1 team in the league going up against the number 2 team in the league, as Wakesa not able to get that shot above the defender, and it's going to be a Thunder ball.
These are interesting times, because I think it's like KP has cracked the code of Thunder, because Thunder are really struggling with the KP's game plan. But I keep telling, when I used to tell my players, until the first lady sings, you can never give up, because you never know at what point in the game that it's going to turn the tide into your advantage. So Thunder just still needs to get skating, but they need to go on transition. If they don't go on transition and attack the paint, then they're going to have a very long night, and that big that unbeaten run is going to come to an end.
Ding hits the free throw. And Thunder again with that press. KPA doing a good job of breaking it and getting the ball across the halfway line. Kimber on the wing, he's wide open. Gets it to Machina. Baluma gets it to Wakesa. Wakesa not enough space to take the shot. Creates the space. High arcing shot. Can't connect. The rebound is scooped up by Opio. And the KPA again converting on that possession.
Yeah, that's because they could not protect their ball. They couldn't protect their rebound. So you give the other team a chance to be able to score and beat you.
Look at the steal from Machina. Blocked. But off to the rescue is Martin Baluma with a second chance opportunity. And KPA again converting and almost picking the pocket of Tyler Ongwai. The momentum is back in KPA's favor officially, and they have dominated this third quarter.
This is getting hot. It's getting ugly. And that's why you can see the crowd is on its feet, because both ends of the floor things are happening. Blocks. And Bramwell got a taste of his own medicine. He stole the ball in the middle of the floor, went on to Puka Lab, and he was blocked. So the game goes either way. So, if you don't go and dunk the ball, you dunk the ball so that you don't get blocked. Otherwise, it's going to get ugly.
Mr. T hits the first free throw. And the tension in this gym is palpable. The tension in this gym is palpable as Tyler Ongwai hits the second free throw. And at this point, every basket does count.
Indeed. I think now the scoreline is 50-45 to KP's advantage. So let's see. Exactly. There's somebody who's always open and drive the lane. There's always somebody who's open and drive the lane. You need to look for that person and drop the ball to them. It's unfortunate that Bramwell could not convert that play. It's an easy, straightforward play. You drive the middle of the lane, the help comes, the person where the help has come from, you drop the ball there.
Well, he's got a chance to still get 2 points for KPA. But that was great placement from Bramwell Mushina, making that nice little sneaky pocket in that low post, where us post players know we can hide and wait for that nice dish. But Mushina misses the first free throw.
Many games, this is where the game is won and lost, on the free throw line. You can't get too many opportunities on the free throw line and you miss those free throws. So KPA needs to be a bit careful. But although I've seen the coach has gone quite deep into his bench, he has gone out to almost the 10th player to be able to give his main players a rest as early as possible. Even as we see, they are trying to buzz a bit there as the third quarter comes to an end.
Yes, indeed, that does take us to the end of the third quarter. And KPA is still maintaining this lead. Bosire, we have seen an amazing third quarter, if I must say. The paint has been a bloodbath. We've seen excellent defensive plays. We've seen hustle. We've seen heart. And now as we approach the fourth quarter, I really think this is now when it comes to tactics.
It's going to be tactical, but it's still going to be very physical. So, as the game has progressed, we have seen how people have been blocked. There has been so many fouls called because of the physicality. And physicality only increases when players become more tired, because you can't move your feet. The only way you can stop people is by holding their hands or pulling them down or blocking them. So for me, the tactics is part of the game, yes, But I'm still seeing it's going to be more of a bloodbath. It's going to be more of an attrition game rather than a skill game where we're seeing people using their skills, using their screens, using their drive and kick sequences to be able to score baskets. So the game has panned out exactly how I was expected it to be, because I knew KPA has to slow down Thunder by all means necessary. And so far, they have done a very good job in doing that. Thunder are actually frustrated because they cannot play their natural game. They're not going on transition. They're not able to pass the ball and cut as they usually do on offense. So, they need to be able to up their mental state, because that's a mentality issue. Like I said before, it's not a matter of tactics now. It's a matter of mentality. How prepared are you to overcome whatever is being thrown at you, especially when it gets very physical?
Designed by HMD. Kuna X20 na X2. Tulia ni kuchanua kuzihusu. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Hizi ndo menje zoku jana feature deadly. Na utapata cash loan kwa ulipaga fiti. Data bundles, Buddha free for GB. Nike lost to C10, we replace it, mommy. Hey, alafu Johnny more than a phone. Hosi ukilazo bila stress, watasota umoja per night. 30 days, Buddha boss, M-Kopa X-Series ni more than a phone. X-Series bala. M-Kopa X-Series bala. X-Series bala. X-Series bala. Hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa.
Start of the fourth quarter. This is the one for all the cookies. The critical quarter. And it's going to be Buluma who gets us started. It's to Kimber. Mushina now at the top of the key, trying to get the ball to Wekesa. And Mushina throws the ball out of bounds. Miscommunication between the KPA players, but also, we have to salute Tyler Ongwae, who was really denying that pass to Wekesa.
You have to have people in people's faces. You can't just allow people to pass the ball around the way they feel like, allow them their offense to set up the way they feel like. No, you have to put pressure. You have to in somebody's face. Correct. Oh,
great move, an attempt from Tyler Ongwae. Wekesa, another turnover.
Two turnovers in a row. The pressure is starting to build. And that's why I say it's going to be an attrition game, because if Thunder score another basket now, it's going to be undue pressure on KPA.
Darrow gets it to Arel Okal, who has been silent for the better part of this game. And now Ongwae on the wing. Can't hit.
You can see how good KPA at boxing out and securing the rebounds, whether it's on the offensive end or the defensive end. They're really good at giving themselves a chance to score a basket.
Opio, the shot clock starting to wind down. 5 seconds left. Something has to happen here. Buluma manages to wipe one off. Almost getting a shot clock violation, and here comes Albert Odero and the team in white. Trying to cut the deficit. Odero out to Garang. Garang misses everything.
He's tired. It's attrition. Get the ball in the paint. That's the only way. Correct.
Wekesa to Mushina. Mushina with the flush.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Get the ball in the paint. Keep driving, kicking.
Ogechi gets it to Ding in the corner. Ding loses it. Yes, indeed, they are tired. Long pass to find Opio. Opio, he's alone. Doesn't have the legs to finish the play. And now Tyler Ongwae gets the ball out to Thunder. Odero from downtown. Odero, no. It's like you said, Bosire, Thunder are tired. They just don't have the legs to even finish mid-range shots.
Correct. Their shots are all off because their legs are dead. Completely dead.
Kimber the wing. Gets it to Buluma. Buluma slicing and dicing through the defense, almost loses it, manages to kick it out to Mushina, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. One pass too many, as we have a substitution on the floor for Thunder. Checking into the game is Ken Washira, and for KPA checking into the game is Kisilu and Tobias Odhiambo.
So the two, Tobias and Kisilu, have had a good rest through majority of the third quarter. So let's see whether their fresh legs are going to carry the team in the fourth quarter. Because like I said, this is a game of attrition now. It's a team that tires off fast that will collapse and lose the game.
Okal handoff to Tyler Ongwae. Ongwae kicks it out to Ogechi. Ogechi has been off this entire game, has not been able to find his stroke. Ken Washira with the attempt. Ken Washira also off. And here comes Tobias Odhiambo, tries to get it into Spencer. Spencer fumbles it. Ongwae and Team Thunder are just not able to connect from beyond the arc.
They can't. It's difficult. That's why I keep saying you need to change your strategy. Get the ball into the paint. However much your block doesn't really matter. At least you attempt. At some point you score, you get a call. But the three they are taking are all ill-advised in my opinion at this point in time, at this juncture. The game has been drawn down into a slugfest. A slugfest means that you have to fight through the mud and try and beat the other team in its own game plan.
Eight-point game here in Nyayo Indoor Arena. And whistle on the floor, a little push on Eugene Adera. It's going to be another foul on KPA.
Yeah, as things stand, looks like the unbeaten run is in danger of coming to a halt. Unbeaten run is in danger of coming to a halt.
I like your word choice, in danger.
Yes, it's in danger. If Thunder do not do what they're supposed to do, it's going to be ugly.
Big rebound from Buluma. Buluma dancing through the defenders. It's going to be a foul, personal foul called on Tyler Ongwae.
They started bumping too late. You should have set that physicality early so that the referee can just get used to your physicality. You know, sometimes you have to bait the referees in this game. You can't start playing physical late in the game. Then it will be like it's obvious you're going away from the claim. Because referees actually ref most games based on the style of play of the other team. Yeah, so unless something is very untoward, then they'll just basically. And this is what I was hoping that Thunder would do: play a 2-3 zone earlier on, because the 2-3 zone stops and those drives which KP are doing, and even as I say that, Buluma is still able to drive and foul.
Oh, Tyler Ongwae bumped hard from the back. Well, Sierra, you definitely seem to have thought that was a foul, and I'm hard pressed to agree with you.
That was a foul from the floor. Forget about even at the point of the layup, from the floor.
Deep three from Amin Kisilu. It ain't nothing but a thing. Drains the three-point shot.
When the rain falls, it falls. Just like I said, when you drive the lane, you'll draw these people into foul. They should have done this a bit earlier so that you could put the KPA players in foul trouble. But let's see how it's gonna go. But you know, when it's your time, to fall, even the tallest tree becomes slippery. So
Mr. Bosir Bagonko with the African Proverbs, live and direct from Nyayo Indoor Arena, where we are seeing unprecedented sights as KPA have managed to maintain a lead throughout this game and are continuing it through the fourth quarter, and dare I say, are looking like the better team on the floor at this point in time. Kisilu.
And one.
Testing the waters. Foul and a basket.
That defense is in shambles. It's in shambles. He has shot the ball from the set spot twice. The first one is scored. The second was a good shot, but it didn't go in. But then nobody blocked out anybody to be able to secure the rebound. So KPA were able to pick up an easy offensive board and score another one.
Bramwell Mushina has brought this arena to life.
Thunder are flustered. They're really flustered. They're really flustered. You can see their heads are going down slowly by slowly because the game is slipping away. The game is slipping away. That's unfortunate, but they just, like I said from the second quarter, it's a mental thing. How prepared are your players for whatever the other team is going to bring? These are things you would have discussed in practice and knew that these guys would have been very physical.
A 13-point lead for KPA. The momentum is on their side. They've been playing bully ball throughout the last 1.5 hours of play. And now as we enter malaria time, critical minutes in this game, do Thunder still have the legs to make a turnaround?
From what I'm seeing, at the moment, I don't think so because they're looking very flustered. They're looking very downtrodden. It's like the life has been sucked out of them. But it's because, like I said, it's an attrition. You know, attrition means you're grinding in a mud fest. Yeah, you're being thrown down. You have to stand up. You're sleeping. So if you don't have that mental presence to be able to overcome that kind of game, it becomes very difficult because everything you do will come to a halt. Where the other team, which is playing their normal game, it looks like it's very easy for them because they're scoring. You can see they're scoring very easily. They're picking up their rebounds. They are having stops and scoring very easily against Thunder. So it's going to be difficult for me. The danger is becoming real and more real as time goes by, or time elapses.
Mushina converts to 3-point play, and you can hear the fans chanting defense as there's blood in the water. Derek Ogechi silencing the crowd with a clutch 3-pointer.
Well, that was a good shot, but they need to do more of that. Either score the layup or hit the jump shots. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult.
Odhiambo takes a good hard look at that interior feed, gets the ball back, makes a different decision. Tries to go up and under. Another travel call on Tobias Odhiambo.
There is something that is amiss on that traveling call. I'm not understanding why they're calling many of these things a travel, but like I said, the three referees are international referees, so there's something that we know that we don't know.
Ongwae. Ongwae rattles it in.
And in a jiffy, that's a 6-point run, 6-0 run by Thunder. Maybe it's because 7-0 run, so it means it was a 6 points game, but are they going to be able to stop KPA from doing what they're doing on offense and scoring? That's a big question because every time they've come within two or three points, they're still going back. So they need to be able to tighten their defense also as they're busy trying to catch up against KPA.
We keep on saying it, basketball is a game of runs and stops, and Thunder, while they are scoring, have not really had a good, decent run in the third or the fourth quarter. As Morrell Spencer, travel call. The fans seem to have thought he'd been fouled, but he was definitely a travel call, and that was a good read from Jazz.
Yeah, unfortunately, KPA are also starting to lose their head a little bit. I think that small 7-0 run by Thunder has rattled them a little bit because now they have had 3 turnovers which are unforced errors actually, which were travel. So they need to be very careful about what happens in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
And there with the runner off the mark, Ongwae takes a shot at it and hits the triple.
It's now a 4-point game, 59-55.
Spencer on the low post. He's got trees all around him. Foul is going to be called. And Spencer earns a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, but I feel that that is Spencer. Is that Spencer? Spencer is having offensive fouls. He's throwing his elbow around when he's spinning off his pivot. So the referees need to be cognizant of that fact.
It actually looks like Eric gave him a warning. Eric, one of our most decorated international referees, pleasure to have him on the floor with us as Spencer hits the first free throw. Spencer not able to hit on the second. KPA trying to get the ball back, unable to do it. Here comes James Mwangi. Garang's feeling it. Tyler Ngwai on the putback, not able to hit. And Thunder do a good job of trying to recover. Almost losing the ball. Here comes Baluma from downtown. And that was a great box out from Derek Ogechi to make sure Mushini doesn't get the rebound.
We're going back to square one again. Thunder are getting a bit haphazard on offense. That is not a good shot that Tyler Ngwai took there. In my opinion, he should have driven the lane and tried to create something off the drive rather than take a hurried shot like that.
Not to mention it's becoming a slugfest out there, Bosire.
It's ugly. That's how some teams like to make the game. It becomes a slugfest, it becomes ugly, so you're not in a comfort zone. Remember the days of Michael Jordan in the Bulls and playing against the Pistons? The Pistons used to get them out of their game all the time by making it a slugfest.
That was a great attack from Eugene Adera. That's definitely his go-to move. And I'm glad that he's pulled it out of his bag, able to draw the defense. Does a fantastic job of getting himself to the free throw line.
But he needs to score his free throws now. So drawing the foul is good, attacking the lane is good, but if you don't score either from a layup or a free throw, then you seem not be able to put pressure, enough offensive pressure against the opponents. Even as you see him scoring his first free throw there, that is what we call being cool under pressure. Let's see whether he's going to score his second free throw, and hope that that can rally up the crowd a little bit as things are getting hot here in Nyayo National Stadium in the game against Thunder to KPA. With 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go, 60-57 to KPA with 2 minutes left in the game.
Odhiambo kicks it out for the three. Ngwai, he has the rhythm. Oh my goodness!
It's getting ugly.
It is going crazy in Nyayo. James Mwangi shakes off his standard. Get the ball to drop.
Oh my goodness! No, the referee has called a walk or something.
It's a travel call.
He has cancelled the basket. He has called something else. Travel. He called a travel. She called a travel. The ref called a travel.
For the first time since the first quarter, Nairobi City Thunder
almost took the lead
and have evened the score with KPA. A timeout is necessary. Adjustments must be made. Never sleep on Thunder.
That's what I say. They have to change their mentality. You have to change their mentality. Put pressure on the offense, on the defense, and then get the ball and go on transition, try and score the basket. That's what they have done in the last 3 minutes. If they had played the same way from the first quarter, it would have been a different ball game right now. But now they are going back in their groove at the right time. So with 1.5 minutes or so to go, let's see how KP are going to transform.
60 points apiece. 2 minutes to go. So much can happen in 2 minutes. Thunder have managed to turn this game around just when Bosire had lost all hope. Tyler Ngwai steps up to the plate and said, I can do it. And they've managed to cut down this deficit.
Like I said in the first quarter when he got subbed in, I said it has to be Tyler Ngwai to take over the ball game because he's their spark on offense. He's the one who's brave, he's the one who can attack the lane, he's the one who can take shots, however mad the shots can be. But he's able to take that opportunity to be able to give his team a chance to be able to win the ball game. Now his KPS starting to be flustered. Let's see what after the timeout what the coach has designed for them. But like I said before, it's a slugfest. It's a mentality. It doesn't matter how many X's and O's the coach is going to go. It's about the players being in their mental space. to be able to execute under this kind of pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is not a time to step away from your screens. If you're watching us at home, stay locked in. A lot can happen in 2 minutes as KPA starts off with the possession. Odhiambo to bring the ball up, gets it to Machina at the wing. Spencer trying to swing the ball, gets it back to Machina. Hand off to Odhiambo. Odhiambo from downtown. Odhiambo can't hit. And it's going to be a whistle on the floor, a holding foul.
Yeah, but Spencer, that is, I've noted that myself. If I was a referee, I think he'd have already been fouled out because I've noted that he's pulling a lot, he's tugging a lot when he's not in a position to rebound the ball. So
now it's very important to note that Thunder are in the bonus as that is Morel Spencer's 4th personal foul, and Thunder with a very real opportunity to capitalize on that fact. They need to take it to the cup. They need to be extremely aggressive offensively. As you see James Mwangi with his signature wiggle, and the basket is good.
The snake shake. Even as Thunder take the fast lead in almost 37 minutes, it's now 61-60. Let's see who's going to score the second free throw. And let's see how KP is going to adjust to playing from down in the next 1.5 minutes.
Ding struggling with the putback, and Spencer snatches down the boards.
He should have come down with it instead of trying to score.
Spencer almost losing the ball. Buluma now on the drive, gets it to Machina. Machina can't connect. Buluma with the putback.
Oh my God!
And my goodness, what are we seeing here?
Oh, Jesus.
Adera, a little shake and bake. Tries to get it out to Ogechi. Ogechi on the mid-range.
Oh.
Ogechi buries the 2-point shot.
That's what I'm talking about. A back and forth game. We score, we score, we score, we score. You take the lead, we take the lead. Now it's going to be that back and forth until the last minute. And let's hope that the last minute won't be too much of a wrestling match, because at this rate, it's panning out to be that kind of game that will get very physical in the last 1 minute. Yes.
1 point game, ladies and gentlemen. Lennox gets it to Spencer. Spencer at the elbow. Spencer too hard off the glass.
Wow, wow, wow. What scenes are unfolding at Nyayo National Stadium are amazing. Thunder have made an unlikely comeback, going on a 13-2 run in the last 3.5 minutes to go ahead by 1 point, 53-52, with 1 minute to go. As we see James Mwangi trying to score the basket, but just missed it. Let's see what KP is going to come up with on the offense. They need to be calm, meet the clock at this rate, and then try and score the basket and go ahead.
Oh, that's going to be a foul on the floor called on Derek Ogechi, and that was not a great read from Ogechi.
I disagree totally. That's not a foul. That's a good strip, but like I said, the referee is always right, so we just have to believe that she saw something that we did not see from the angle that we are in.
And a timeout has been called by Coach Cliff O'War, and this could be his final timeout of the game, as KPA have now entered the critical seconds of this matchup.
Yes. And it's important that they score. Whatever he draws now, it must be a score. Otherwise, it's going to be very ugly. They're 1 point down at the moment, and they need to score that basket. If I was the coach of KPA, I would draw something that to score on a layup and try and draw a foul and get a 3-point play, not go for a 3. But let's see whether his thought process is like mine. I was just saying that if I was the coach of KPA, I would draw a play where we score under the rim, not to try a 3. Because you just need to get 1 point ahead of Thunder and then try and stop them on the offensive possession. But even when you go under, you can be able to go and get an on-1, so that makes you get a 3-point play. So let's see whether his thought process is like mine and how they're going to execute coming off this timeout that they have called.
These are the moments where telepathy would have come in handy. You would have been able to channel your thoughts into Coach Cliff's mind as he makes the final suggestions and changes
Coach Cliff is a very, very renowned coach. fans from both sides trying to outdo each other, trying to outsmart each other by shutting each other down. That's the essence of a game, the fans going down at each other. Not only is the action in the court, but it's also off the court as the fans cheer the team, try to egg their team forward.
"20 seconds to go in this matchup. Wait a second. A technical foul has been called on Eugene Adera.
Eugene has been called for a technical foul for jumping
He was-
to impede inbound pass.
And I
I've
think-
never seen that technical foul being called before.
I think he was jumping past the line, like he was actually jumping on the inbounds. Yeah, out of bounds.
That's an interesting call. I've never seen, especially in such a tight game. It's a very interesting call to make.
And a very interesting call to make at this particular time where every single point matters. Now Spencer goes to the free throw line and he has a chance to even out the score and possibly send this game into overtime. Spencer, he has been phenomenal with his free throw shooting in this game, and make no mistake in that attempt. And now the scores are tied and KPA with the possession.
You see that the position the game is tight.
Wanje gets it into Machina. Lennox using the game clock. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Spencer now on that post. Decides to take on James Wangi. He's fouled on the way up.
Yes, finally the referee has seen
No!
the offensive foul. He's throwing out his elbow.
Offensive foul called.
I've said that before. He's throwing out his elbow all the time when he goes for the spin move. Every time he throws out his elbow. Yep. Finally, yes, the referee has seen. I don't know what he's mad about. He knows exactly what he's doing. Why is he mad?
And that's going to be Spencer's 5th personal foul. And he is out of this game.
He has taken himself out of the game for no good reason.
Morel Spencer has taken himself out of this game. Absolutely not pleased with the call, but we see
He has taken himself out of that game because he had position in the paint. All he needed to do was just take his time and score the basket or attempt the basket. Why he needed to throw out his elbow, I don't understand.
and he's still on the floor for some reason.
That's interesting. Five fouls, yeah.
That is indeed Spencer's 5th foul. He is out of the game. Not happy with the call, but that's just the reality of it. He should have played smarter. Like you said, he didn't have to swing his elbow. He just had to go up and over his defender. Either way, the score was tied. He could have sent it into overtime. He didn't have to score.
Anyway, one of the Thunder, two of the Thunder players had come to help. So it means two of his teammates were wide open. So why he then kicked the ball out there, he looked to split the defense. I don't understand. Therefore, brain fouls. And that's the kind of composure I keep talking about, especially in this kind of pressure situation. You need to be very composed, so you make very good decisions. Now the game is getting. There's no action outside the court than inside the court. The players are getting agitated. I don't know.
All right, 11 seconds left in this game. Every decision matters. Garang, he's got Wakesa on him. Wakesa doing his best not to foul. Garang decides to go all the way with the runner. Tyler Ongwai fires one out before the whistle. My goodness, it was so close. It was so very close. But this game is going into overtime. Thunder with an amazing comeback in the 4th quarter. They've been down well into the double digits, 13 points, 14 points, and managed to turn things around when it mattered the most. And now we've got one more quarter, ladies and gentlemen. I would say that the momentum has definitely shifted towards Thunder's favor, and the KPA are going to have to do something about that.
Yes, and I can see KPA guys are already getting. the coach of KPA was hit with a technical foul. That's why you can see Tyler Ngwai is on the free throw line waiting to take the free throw.
You know, every single decision really matters at this point in time. Every single mistake really matters at this point in time. And as a coach, and I say this to you, Bosir, because you have been a coach for many years, how important is it to keep your head cool in moments like this?
Oh my goodness, you know me, I learned the hard way because me, I'm very short-tempered. I've got a very hot head. I learned the hard way that if you don't stay calm, you cannot be able to make the right decisions. And I think that applies to life generally. If you don't stay calm in present situations, because most of these things are about making decisions. You are making the right decisions. So if you can't be able to be calm, you never make the right decisions.
Wanji dancing with his defender. Shoots a nice high arcing shot above his defender. And we're back to a 1-point game. Adera at the top of the key. He's got the space, lines it up, knocks it down! Eugene Adera getting a great 3-point shot off for Thunder. And we've got a whistle on the floor. Seems to be some ruckus on Thunder's bench.
A Thunder fan has decided to sit on the Thunder bench. I don't know why. And sooner than later, they're going to be afforded a technical foul. I'm telling you, there's more action outside the court than inside the court at this point in time. And the fans are getting testy.
Fans are on their feet, Bosire. Fans are on their feet.
We need to have more this kind of games more often than not, because Thunder has actually been beating teams by on average 40 points per game, which is, I mean, it's not good. So we need games that are tight games that go to overtime, games you win by 1 point, you know, so that the fans can always be on their feet and entertained as they are today.
So it's going to be KPA possession. Wekesa will inbound. Wekesa to Lennox. Lennox trying to go past the trees. There's a nice little hop, skip, and jump. Almost a travel call again. Buluma with 5 left on the shot clock. Nice finger roll finish. And KPA are not backing down. This game is definitely going down to the wire in overtime. Garang, ding! Rims out. And it would be good to know the field goal percentage for Thunder, who have missed a lot of shots in this game. A lot of shots underneath the rim. Very uncharacteristic for this team. Derek Ogechi kicks it out to Ding. Ding tries to finish his free throw. No foul has been called. The ref says play ball. Lennox to Buluma. Buluma. Not a great shot from Buluma. Gets it to Machina. Lennox from the corner. No good.
I can't believe the referee missed that hook led by Bramwell.
Tyler Ngwai trying to shake off his defender. Rebound, ding. He's fouled by Kisilu on the way up and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Now they said the game is going to get very ugly. So it's a matter of who keeps their composure in this situation, because both teams, the referees are going to call fouls or ignore fouls. That's the problem. So you cannot play under composure. Your chances of losing the game.
What I do like is Thunder is playing through the contact rather. They're not shying away from it.
That is critical. That is critical. You have to show the other team that you can play through their style of play.
The wrong ding gets the first free throw to go. And Ding is looking tired.
It's a difficult game. It's a difficult game. They're playing full court. Both that way is you're putting pressure on this other side, you're putting, putting defensive pressure. So it can drain you mentally.
Kisilu kicks it out to Mushina. Mushina, nice soft touch. Great finish from Bramwell Mushina. And KPA and Thunder are trading baskets in what has been a very exciting matchup as Eugene Adera decides to take it all the way. No, it's a nice dish to James Mwangi. James Mwangi not able to convert. Ball tipped out of the hands of Eugene Adera, and it's going to be Thunder ball. The white team stays on this side of the floor.
Wow. The contact it's almost like wrestling.
Adera to Ogechi. Ogechi decides to take his opponent mano y mano off target. Garang with the rebound off target. Mwangi with the rebound. Tyler Ongwae!
Oh!
Tyler Ongwae is on fire!
Ice cold.
Tyler Ongwae is on fire. He is lighting up the gym.
Oh! What a play.
Great heads-up play from Bramwell. Great heads-up play. He is putting in the effort on both ends of the floor, Bosire.
Yeah. Bramwell has impressed me quite a bit, especially on the offensive end. I know he's a very good defensive player, but offensively he has really impressed me. He's taking his jump shots, like that was a touch pass that he just gave when he was out of control. But the presence of mind to know that there's somebody cutting on the baseline, you just start the pass to them. That shows maturity offensively.
And a big shout out to Buluma as well to make that read and do that cut.
Indeed.
Garang gets it out to Ogechi. Ogechi, a deep three.
Oh!
Ogechi hits from deep.
In here.
Wanya to Kisilu. Kisilu takes a long distance 3-point shot. Mushina fights for the rebound. Spin move. Oh. Nice soft touch. My goodness. Bramwell Mushina. Is he the man of the match or what?
For me, he is. He really played well, especially on the defensive end. But unfortunately, there's still a difference there which needs to be taken care of.
Wow.
Real good ball. That's LeBronesque.
Great play from Ogechi. And now Thunder.
Whoa.
Wanji almost loses the ball, gets it back. Ball is tipped away by Eugene Adera, so it is going to stay with KPA's possession. Buluma, ball is stripped away. Ongwae, long pass to Garang. Garang flushes the ball. And
finally, Thunder break their slump and show that they're not ready to give up the unbeaten run. They have said, no, not today, some other day, not today. What a play.
Thunder reminding us why they are undefeated. A year and a half undefeated, 40 games undefeated. This is a team that does not buckle under pressure, Bosire.
That's for sure. Like I said, it's just a mentality issue. The moment they changed their mentality and started believing in what they're doing and putting pressure, the game turned around. You remember, with around 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they were 13 points down and looking very flustered until they called a timeout. So in that timeout, they came out and they went on a 7-0 run immediately. That allowed them to rattle KPA from their comfort zone, and KPA has not recovered since that point in time when on Thunder went on 7-0 run. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call attrition. You cannot give up until the fat lady sings. Every time you think that you're down, you just need to compose yourself, remember what your game plan is, and execute it with all the heart that you want. Now, KPA is rattled. They're looking a bit flustered. They have got the last 3 timeouts, and therefore you need to see the effect of you putting pressure, both offensively and defensively, against the team you're playing against.
Seconds to go in this game. Thunder reminding everyone here that this is their house. This is Thunder's house.
Yep.
But listen, it's not over until the fat lady sings. And KPA will be looking to cut down this lead. Jerry Wekesa fumbles the ball. It's going to be Thunder possession. Great defensive play from Derek Ogechi.
Now they're pumped up. You can see them. Chest bumping, high fiving, with all the screams like gorillas in the forest. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah.
Guys, myself and Bosir were very excited. Can you tell? Ogechi now gets it to Tyler Ngwai. You can see that they're playing with the game clock. They're trying to run that clock down, use as much time as possible.
Indeed.
They have the advantage on their side. Foul called on Kisilu.
Oh my. They are definitely not ready to give up that unbeaten run. And at the beginning of the game, you mentioned something called dynasty. This is how dynasties are formed. You go 1 year, 2 year, you're unbeaten, maybe you lose one game, but you keep winning and making everybody else look ordinary. That's how dynasties are formed. So let's see how this year is going to go. If they go unbeaten again this year, it means that their dynasty, the foundation has been set. Now they just need to build the walls, the windows, and the roof. And they have a real dynasty.
Bosir, looking at the body language of KPA right now, it's speaking volumes.
It's the same as Thunder was for the past 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters, that's how KPA were looking. Thunder were looking. But like I said, at that point in time when they called that timeout and came back and went on a 7-0 run, the momentum shifted. Because their mentality changed. They got aggressive. Remember, Taylor went on, shot 2 threes and Ogechi. And all of a sudden, it was a 2-point game. It was a 1-point game. And the moment they went ahead, it became very difficult for KPA to keep that momentum.
Lennox, way off. Mwangi with the rebound. And now the fans are counting down. They've risen to their feet. Nairobi City Thunder remain undefeated, wrapping up this first leg of the Kenya National Basketball League in epic fashion. What a great fight from KPA. They really dominated this game for the better part of it. But Thunder, no strangers to situations like this. They just had the stretch, they had the desire, and really the better team won tonight.
Exactly. But that shows you how a game plays. Remember I told you can start off well but you taper off. Or you can start off badly but you pick up later on in the game. And that's exactly what happened in this game. It was a tale of 3.5 quarters and one half of a quarter. Because for 3.5 quarters, KPA were very comfortable. Thinking they were going to get that run. But all of a sudden, with one shift of momentum, Thunder came, drew the game, went into overtime and has won comfortably.
What an exciting game this has been. What an exciting night this has been. Nairobi City Thunder have done it again. To all of you who are watching on the live stream, we see you, all 400 of you. Thank you for joining us. We do apologize for the lag in commentary in the first half of the game, but we trust that you have enjoyed this game. Thank you for showing us the love. Bosira, that wraps up the first leg of the Kenya National Basketball League. We will know what the fixtures are for the second leg within a few weeks, but it has been a true pleasure once again calling this game with you.
Indeed. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure.
From myself and Bosire and the technical team here at Blazers TV, thank you for joining us and have a lovely night.
X2 tulia ni kuchanua kuzihusu. X series bala M-Kopa X series bala X series bala X series bala hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. X series bala M-Kopa X series bala X series bala X series bala hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Hizi ndo menje zokuja na feature deadly na utapata cash loan kwa ulipaga fiti. Data bundles buda free 4GB na iki lost to see tense we replace it mami. Ay, alafu Johnny more than a phone hosi ukilazo bila stress watasota umoja pa night 30 days buda boss M-Kopa X series ni more than a phone. X series bala M-Kopa X series bala X series bala X series bala hizi ndo menje zote saga kwa mitaa. Nikiwaambia X series ni more than a phone munatiwa dau. Don't joke bwana. Visit any M-Kopa shop or WhatsApp us on 0799 136 761 to get your X series today. X series more than a phone.